Hey, welcome to the Three Geeks Network and our review of Ant-Man. So the movie starts off, you see Hank Pym, he walks into a SHIELD office. Spoiler alerts, sorry. He walks into a SHIELD office, has a meeting with Howard Stark, Agent Carter, and I don't remember the other guy's name.
Some
Max?
douchebag was his
Some
name.
douchebag. And, says, I quit, leaves. Fast forward to present day, you meet Scott, the a thief who's in prison. He leaves. If he gets out of prison, he goes, sees his daughter, and just wants to do right by his daughter. But he can't get a job. He gets a job at Dunkin' Donuts. Is it Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Baskin Robbins.
Baskin Robbins. He gets a job
Oh,
at Baskin
dude.
Robbins. Baskin Robbins always finds out. That was great. Gets a
The
job at
Baskin Robbins scene was great.
They fire him. He kind of gets a little desperate, goes to his buddy and says, all right, find me a job. He finds a job to steal something out of some elderly guy's safe. Inside the safe is the Ant-Man costume. It was all perpetrated by Hank Pym to see if Scott could do it. And that's pretty much what you need to know going into this movie, because we're going to spoil the hell out of it in our conversation. We don't really need an intro too much more than that. So, Max, man of 3 times, probably 4 is probably where you're on your way to now. What did you think?
No, this movie was fucking awesome. It was really good. I thought it was better than Avengers 2. It's probably my second favorite origin story, next to Iron Man. It's that good. Yeah, man, they knocked it out of the park with this one. I really had a blast. 3 times.
Yeah, Marvel just keeps swinging to the fences with these movies. I mean, last year they gave us Guardians, which was really good. And
Yeah, that was good. I had a lot of fun with Guardians. Guardians isn't my favorite like it is for a lot of people, but it's a lot of fun.
no, I agree. But what I'm saying is, they brought you a bunch of characters that nobody cared about, and then now they're giving
Right.
you Ant-Man, a character that a lot of people make fun of. Like, I've heard so many jokes surrounding this movie, and it is my second favorite of the single Marvel movies. There's Captain America: Winter Soldier, and then there's this. I mean, Avengers 1 is my favorite overall, but I'm talking just the solos. And yes, Max, I thought it was better than Age of Ultron also. I like how Marvel put the brakes on. Like, they went from Ultron, this big budget blockbuster. They put the brakes and gave us a small film that I thought held up. And I thought the acting performances were strong across the board. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see them in the bigger picture.
I mean, yeah, Michael Douglas didn't suck. That's what I was worried about. And then I was also the bad guy was kind of a little bit over the top, but they explained it away. They're just like, oh yeah, the particles are driving him insane, and it's all explained away. He's like, okay, I can take anything from this guy now because he's obviously losing his mind.
Wendell, what were your thoughts?
Love the movie. Quite frankly, I remember Ant-Man as a kid. Like I said, as you all know, I didn't come up reading the comic book, so I'm all into the cinematic universe. And this one, I absolutely love it. It's probably, it's up there. I would say maybe third or fourth of all the Marvel movies that I've seen thus far. I really enjoyed Paul Rudd's character. I was actually concerned going into it, how would he play this? I thought it would be maybe, too funny or something like that. But basically, like I said, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing him on the screen with the other Avengers. I think it's going to be awesome.
It's funny you bring up the comic books. I don't know much about Ant-Man at all, and that's one of the things I thought Max was not going to like about this movie was that they changed a lot about Hank Pym's past. But Philip, what are your thoughts? Max, sorry.
Oh no. Go ahead, Philip. I'll break in with the how I felt about Hank Pym afterwards.
All right. Yeah, no, I really love the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. I'm definitely in the same realm as you all. I definitely thought it was a much better movie than Age of Ultron, for sure. And it was, to me, and I agree with you, Rondell, that I was skeptical as to Paul Rudd being the hero. I felt he could be the comedian, but then there was a couple moments where I was like, ha, holy crap, they actually turned the corner with him. I was like, there he is. He's actually believable as this reluctant hero that ends up embracing it. And I thought they did well with that story, and I really liked the way they kind of changed it, because I agree, Jason, like what you said, they completely went from one section to the other, and I can definitely see why Edgar Wright, this movie was taking him forever to get made, because I can't imagine the CGI, the money, and all the stuff they're looking at doing everything, and they're like, yeah, this isn't happening, not for a few more years. And then, because it definitely feels like it would have fit into the Phase 1 movies really well. But overall, I just love the movie, and I loved the fact of how they tied it in. They weren't too unnecessarily tying things in. I love the fact that he went to, the new Avengers facility, and that was awesome. And I love that interaction, and then kind of what the end scenes.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too. You need to call the Avengers. That's what you need to do. Why are you talking to me?
and Max, you're muted if you're trying to say anything.
Yeah, Max, you're just talk in the air. I mean, we can add words to you if you just want to. Max is like, fuck that. I don't know. Just.
No, I was. No, it's all good. Yeah, there's nothing important said right there. But no. As far as Hank Pym goes, in the Marvel universe, like, they already screwed him out of Ultron. Like, it's kind of up in the air and whatever now. So I didn't really even give. I didn't care like what they did, and I thought they did really well. It was really cool what they did. I liked the backstory that they gave him. It's cool that he's just like a badass fucking World War II hero. Like, give me a break. Like, that's he's like Captain America, the superhero. Like, it's basically how they're portraying him. Like, you see Cap doing all that crazy World War II shit, but you didn't know that the Ant-Man was secretly in there the whole time. Like, and then with the Wasp and stuff, all that was cool. But like Scott Lang's story, they pretty much got how the comic books did it. I mean, like, obviously it's a little updated, but that's pretty much his backstory. He does rob the Avengers. That's like how he kind of gets his start. Like, and he does, like, steal the Ant-Man uniform. Like, that's all Scott Lang's origin story. So they were really true to that, which is really cool, and I really like to see that. And yeah, man, I'm so behind this movie. There's only a few bad things to say about this movie.
Yeah, I agree. I had a thought and I lost it. Oh, Scott Lang's group, T.I., the other guy, I thought it was going to be annoying. Like, as soon as he's leaving the prison and you see that guy by the van, I thought this is going to go too far. But
Michael
it doesn't.
Pena? Oh my God.
It was
Loved
funny.
him.
And, we're backing up. I thought that was really funny. And T.I. jumping out, stealing the police car. That was great.
Oh, man.
Oh.
And when he starts to tell the story, and he'd be like, so I was hanging with my cousin. He's always like, at a wine tasting, or like he's like at an art gallery. Like, oh,
it's very
man,
cultural.
Yeah, dude. It's like, oh, but like, I'm neo-expressionist, right? Like he would know that.
And what I also love with those scenes was how the actors would then literally be speaking the words that are coming out of his mouth.
Oh yeah, the lip syncing, and like, oh yeah, the best one was at the end when like the hot Asian writer chick. I think she just, like, watching her do like lip sync his voice was just ridiculously funny.
Yeah, I like the banter, and I don't know how much of this movie was changed, because there's a lot of parts of it that still seem Edgar Wright-ish. So I don't know how much Adam McKay and Paul Rudd wrote in this movie. I'm sure a lot of the comedy comes from them, but
I can actually add in a little bit to that, Jason. I watched an interview with Feige and Douglas, and I don't know the other guy. Probably, I'm guessing, the director of the movie. But they talked about it, and they said they kept most of the Edgar Wright script. But apparently Adam McKay is a huge comic book nerd. I guess when he got in there, he was all about writing the comedy, but he was also like, you know what? Ant-Man needs to beat up an Avenger. This needs to happen. And so that whole scene was because of Adam McKay. That wasn't in there in the original thing. Otherwise, I think they said they didn't change too much. They added some dialogue and some wit, but it was mostly, I think, the Avengers scene was his biggest addition.
I guess it's my only nitpick. I guess it's more of a question, but why is Falcon the only person defending the Avengers facility?
Okay, seriously, they're the Avengers. There's probably 4 volcanoes going off and some aliens invading the Earth right now. So Falcon's the only one at home base. Totally makes sense. I mean, give me a break, dude. Fucking Tony Stark is probably jet setting somewhere across the world. Cap's out looking for fucking Winter Soldier. Black Widow and Hawkeye's back on the farm. Black Widow's doing God knows what. And fucking, give me a break. That's easily explainable.
Hold on, Black Widow's looking for the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, there we go. Whatever. Whatever.
I guess we give our rating now.
No bullshit, dude. There's still more to talk about. How about the CG for Michael Douglas's face in the beginning of the movie?
Oh yeah, very well done. Very well done.
There's only one part where it's okay, guys, really, and then, but I mean, it was really good. I thought.
Oh yeah, I mean, it looked like he was back in the '80s again. And
because
go ahead.
That other guy got the douchebag. He got CG'd up a little bit too, to make himself look younger.
Really?
Yeah, you can kind of tell.
Okay. I didn't pay that much attention to him, I guess.
You gotta watch it 3 times.
Good to know, Max. I like it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you notice those things on the 3rd viewing.
I can't wait to see it a second time. I'm using Tony's birthday as an excuse. I'm taking him to see it.
You should also use the fact that it's a day that ends in Y as an excuse to go see. And it's so good. Okay, now you guys remember when Michael Pena is escaping from the building, and he's like, "Oh, the security guy that I knocked out earlier," and he goes and saves that dude's life. Now rewind just a little bit from that, right? Now he knocks out 2 dudes to save Ant-Man's life. Those guys are still knocked out on the floor when they run out of the building, and then it explodes.
Well, maybe he really liked that one guy that he knocked out.
Right, he felt bad for that guy. The guy was just standing there and doing nothing.
I was just like, they make it a point that he saves this dude. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh crap, that guy that I knocked out. But he just left 2 dudes on the floor.
But they had
They're
bad
dead.
intentions, Max.
Those dudes are dead. Oh man, so yeah, I thought that was hysterical. I was like, why is he saving that guy? I mean, he just killed those other 2 guys.
What about the Asian lady and her lip sync and her reference to, oh yeah, we got a guy swinging around.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. A guy who jumps, a guy who swings, a guy who crawls up the walls. You got to be more specific.
I was listening to stuff. Apparently, they didn't have the Spider-Man deal when they threw that in, and Kevin Feige was just like, if we don't get Spider-Man, we're just going to be like, we didn't say it was Spider-Man. We said there's a guy climbing on walls. It could be anybody.
Yep.
But the fact that they got Spider-Man, it means a lot more.
It really could have been anybody. That's the good thing is anything you say is too vague to pin down to one hero.
Yeah, it could be Iron Man. Maybe he made a suit that climbs up walls. We don't know.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Black Panther. Black Panther.
There you go.
All right.
Climb up the walls.
Max, anything else to add from your 3 times experience?
Okay. All right. So we talked about the sidekicks were cool. I really thought T.I. was gonna piss me off, and he didn't. I was really happy about that. Fucking the Russian guy who's like, old lady, she lives to drop jewel in ocean. Like, that's like his only line in the movie.
Titanic, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, they're good. Okay, anything else I want to talk about on this podcast?
After credit scenes discussions?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Probably the best Marvel post-credit scenes.
Yeah, I would say for sure. The introduction for the Wasp, the new Wasp is going to be. I really like the way that suit's looking out, and I like Evangeline Lilly, and I think that's going to be good. Except, what's with that haircut? Is that like super popular now? Do like all the chicks in movies have that fucking haircut, or is that just me? Is it weird, or is that just me?
I just wondering, because like I said, I don't follow the comic books. Does her character in the comic books have that kind of hair?
No, I think they have hair. Like
I know they have hair. I mean, that hair.
No, I'm just saying, like, there's no like super fucking style to it. Like, it's just hair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't fucking do that like vicious angle thing that chicks got going on with their hair, man. Like, what the fuck?
Is that your con, Max?
That's one of them, I guess. Like they need to give her a real person's hairstyle. Yeah, no, my other con was like it gets a little like when people are talking, they don't pan out and you can capture both of them talking to each other. It's like they focus on each other's face the whole time, and they do it like all throughout the movie. Like instead of like Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly, they're having a conversation, but instead of it showing both of them in the shot, like it just shows her face, and then his face, and then her face, and then his face, and then it's just a lot of that, and that gets annoying on the third viewing. On the third viewing, you start to notice that. What else? Yeah, it's kind of like your average superhero movie kind of plot line, but it's still really good. Like that's the only bad thing I can say about it. It's still so good. Like the comedy is so funny. The fucking tank. What about the tank?
That was awesome.
I was waiting for that.
He just pulls it out of his pocket, or it's part of his keychain.
They kept showing
Like
it.
this
I'm
isn't a
like,
keychain. It's a fucking tank. Oh my goodness, dude. So many good things in that movie, dude. Thomas the freaking tank engine, dude. When they're
the huge ant.
And even the joke that they gave away in the trailer, that where they're on the train set and he's like he's picking up this train and throwing it and he's like knocking it away. It's all dramatic, and then like they show the train landing on the windowsill, like it just clicks there, like no damage is done, nothing is wrong, and it's just, and it's just like they like I love how they like all the stuff that they told you that they were gonna do in the trailer still gets you, makes you laugh. It's still funny. It's still really good. So like I mean that's why one of the reasons I really like this movie. It's just so like yeah I know it's coming, but wow look how they did it. Like it's just yeah it was good.
Yeah, speaking of the train, it just reminded me of something else. They're not really related to the train. I like how they handled his daughter's stepfather. Like, he didn't go down that road of asshole through the whole movie. Like, they actually let his character progress a little bit. Because usually the steps are the evil dictator of the world. I like how that
well, I mean, like, I think they did a good job of portraying him as, like, just a good cop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he never changes from that. The situation changes to where he, realizes some things and things personally change for him. But he never acts any different from beginning to end. He's just reacting the way a person would if they were a good cop.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm just glad that they did that instead of making it a one-dimensional character. There's a lot of three-dimensional characters in this film.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's just really good. Like, I mean, that was good characters. You're not mad at anyone who was in the movie. Even the little girl. Okay, now, normally I'm like, punch that kid in the face. I hope the kid dies. I'm like, there's got to be some way that you can kill this school bus of children and still get this PG-13 rating. Like that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, come on, guys, think outside the box. Kill the kids. Normally that's what I'm saying. This little girl, I didn't want to kill. Like, I'm glad she lived.
Max finds something new to say on every podcast. He wants to kill a school bus of children, but as long as this child
in a
is not on
movie,
it.
not like a real school bus of children. I'm just saying, like, in the movie, you can kill the school bus of kids. Like, why not?
Why not? I like it, Max.
All right, Philip, what's your rating out of 10, buddy?
So I'm probably gonna have to go with like a 9. I mean, I thought it was really good, really, really, really good. Not perfect, but it was it was just impressive, the depth of character. Like, overall, it's one of the more, I would say, pervasive throughout the entire movie. Almost everybody was interesting. And I agree with you, Max, that the bad guy was a little cliche, but they also gave him a little bit of depth at times as to reason why his revenge and kind of going down that story and kind of that plot line. I was like, okay, that's a little bit, I can buy it a little more, so that was kind of cool.
I think it's that actor that elevated that role. I think if it was somebody else, I don't think I would have felt that way, but I thought he did a really good job getting that character to come across without being too cheesy. So when I left the theater, the number in my head was 8. But as I kept thinking about it, and the fact that as much as I love Guardians, I think I kind of like this one more. And I gave Guardians a 9, so I'm going to have to give this one a 9.5 out of 10 because it is, with the exception of Captain America Winter Soldier, which is a perfect movie almost, this is my second favorite, with the exception of the Avengers, and I actually liked it better than Age of Ultron too. So this movie is getting a high 9.5 out of 10, which is my highest rating on this channel. Rondell, this is your first review with us.
My first review. I'm going 8.5. I'm going 8.5. And I don't know if I can put it higher than that. And my rating started out as an 8. And so going 8.5. Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
Rondell may go with me to see it again with my stepson. I might have to make that happen. We'll bring Max along for his 7th time.
Yeah, that's what I'll be by that point.
Max, you're muted again, buddy.
Yep.
You're just talking at the TV. Like, what the hell?
I'm sorry. I thought I hit the button that time. That's my fault.
All right, you're
I
back,
hit
man.
the button. But you know the movie is good when Rondell says more than 4 words about it. And that dude said 10 words. I counted.
True.
That's how good it is. This is a 10-word movie from Rondell.
Damn good.
But I give this movie, when I came out the first time, I was screaming 10. But on the viewings again, it gets an 8 from me. It's a solid flick. It's good. It's a good superhero movie. I will throw this one right up with Iron Man. Like, if you want to see the good ones, you start with Iron Man, then you watch this one, then you watch Cap 2, and Avengers.
Wow. That narrows the universe a lot there, Max.
Yeah. But whatever, man. This one's up there with the greats. Yeah, solid 8. Solid 8.
All right, so that is our review. Check us out on Facebook. We're giving away a $100 Visa gift card to use on anything you want. It'll be the weekend of Comic-Con in Columbus. You don't even have to come to Comic-Con. Just like us on Facebook. Join the event. It's going to be a great time. We're all going to be there. Rondell may even come and make a couple appearances at our booth. It's going
and say
to be
2 things.
It's going to be a fantastic thing. We're hosting a panel, and a lot of these comic book movies we will be discussing as we're discussing if comic books need to stick to the source material or can they venture off. And a real quick tangent. I don't know if anybody's seen the X-Men Apocalypse photo of Apocalypse. I didn't know the X-Men and the Power Rangers were crossing universes.
Yeah, man. JDF.
That scares me. That's a preview of Tuesday's show because we will be discussing that photo along with anything else. Tune in Tuesday at 7:15 for our live show. And for all of us, have a great night.